Namaste, this is Vishwa at Vishwa Yoga. In my previous video, I talked about the common practices of Tantra. In this video, I will talk about the yogic practices of Tantra. They are also called Tantra Yoga practices. These practices are considered on right-hand path, and in the West, it is also referred as White Tantra. Tantra and Yoga are two different systems. So Tantra is not Yoga. However, Tantra without Yoga is not considered Tantra, as the Tantra practices always use some form of Yoga. So on a high level, there are four major systems used in Tantra, collectively called Maha Yoga or Tantra Yoga. They are Mantra Yoga, Hatha Yoga, Laya Yoga, and Raj Yoga in its progressive order. All these yogic knowledge come from one source, the Adi Guru, Lord Shiva. Like one size does not fit all, different yoga practices suits different individuals based on their temperament. Each of these yoga systems has at least 6 limbs. And last 3 systems are closely linked and they have 6 limbs in common. However, each one acts as the foundation for the next one. As you know, the foundation of yoga and Tantra is Sankhya philosophy. But in Tantra, Purusha is referred as Shiva and Prakriti is referred as Shakti. So, to keep it simple, instead of going into philosophy, I will focus on 5 main practices from each yoga system that is practiced today. So the first one is Mantra Yoga. It is the easiest system yet very powerful and foundational system of Tantra. Mantra is sacred sound by the repetition of which one is protected and liberated. That's the definition of mantra. So the Mantra Yoga has a direct impact on our mind. Mantra Yoga has 6 limbs and all are different from the other 3 yoga systems. There are different types of mantra and so its power. But most mantras are associated with a deity. So in mantra practice, a deity is invoked using a mantra, nyasa or consecration rite, and mudras or hand gestures. The mantra is repeated for definite number of time or duration. It's called japa. And Puruscharana is the ritual that includes all the essential steps of invocation. In mantra yoga practice, faith and devotion in the deity of the mantra is the key. Mantra practices are common among all traditions, but it is the foundation of Vaishnava tradition. Now Hatha Yoga. The word Hatha is combination of 2 bees or seed mantra. Ha represents solar or stimulating energy and Tha represents lunar or mental energy. So Hatha Yoga practice focus on balancing these 2 energies. Hatha Yoga is also a 6-limb system and practices are very popular around the world but under different brand names such as Vinyasa Yoga, Hot Yoga, etc. But most practitioners are unaware of the fact that they are practicing Hatha Yoga. So the main practices include Shatkarmas, which is 6 purification practices geared towards physical cleansing. Asana or physical practices activate the energy channels called nadi and energy centers called chakras. Then pranayama or breathing practices further cultivates that energy, and bandha or yogic lock practices helps to contain the energy, and mudra or yogic gestures is practiced to redirect or move the energy for higher purpose. Tantra emphasizes a lot on purification and regular practice. Without that, advancement on this yogic path is not possible. Hatha Yoga is closely linked with Shiva tradition and is the foundation for Laya Yoga or Kundalini Yoga. Now, Laya Yoga. Laya means dissolution. In the state of Laya, the mind reverts from the state of manifestation to dissolution. It is a 9-limb system. In this system, it is important to know the concept of different types and layers of the body called kosha, along with energy channels or nadi, and energy centers such as marma and chakra. They are used in the purification practice called Bhuta Shuddhi, along with visualization, yantra and mantra. These tools are further incorporated in the pranayama practices to move the life force or prana vayus in certain sequence called Laya Kriya as the part of Kriya Yoga. However, the combination of pranayama with mantra is considered like a missile with a nuclear weapon. Together, it is referred as prana yoga. During these practices, different sacred sounds may emanate from the body called nada, which is referred as nada yoga. Since the practice of Laya Yoga awakens the Kundalini, so it is also called Kundalini Yoga. Kundalini is the dormant prana resting at the base of the spine, or Muladhara chakra, represents as the Shakti or Divine Mother. Kundalini Yoga practices are geared towards awakening this sleeping serpent called Kundalini energy or the Shakti. Once awakened, you realize your highest creative potential and the true purpose of your life. Laya Yoga or Kundalini Yoga is closely linked with Shakta tradition. However, the name Kundalini Yoga was more popularized in the 20th century. Please keep in mind that I am referring about the original Laya Yoga or Kundalini Yoga, not the popular brand name Kundalini Yoga of Yogi Bhajan. That was his unique version of Kundalini Yoga. Now, Raj Yoga. Raj Yoga is known as Royal Yoga or Classical Yoga. It is an 8-limb path. That's why it is called Ashtanga Yoga. Most of its external practices are already covered in previous yoga system. So in this section, I will focus on the internal practices called Dhyana Yoga, and that has only 3 limbs. You can come to Dhyana Yoga from any of the previous path. Though Dhyan or meditation is the result of previous stage practices, but the most important and preparatory practice is the witnessing of consciousness either through mantra, asana, pranayam or kriya practice. But Yoga Nidra is one of the most accessible practices used for pratyahara, assuming you are familiar with the 8 limbs path. The practice of dharana or concentration is the foundational stage of meditation. If practiced correctly and consistently over a long period of time, it will lead to complete absorption or called samadhi, the highest state of meditation. Raj Yoga is the highest goal of every tradition. I am a certified Tantra yoga teacher, employ all these yogic practices. So if you need guidance, please feel free to contact me. I will be happy to guide you on this path. You know, most of these practices attracts people from different culture and traditions because these practices are purely experiential, not a dogma or belief. You practice and experience by yourself, and your question will turn into a wonder. Niruttara bhava. The popular yoga classes today mostly focus on one practice or one limb called asana or physical practice of Hatha Yoga. But Tantra practices go beyond the body and impacts on the subtle level using all these components I just talked about. As you can see, it is a journey from external to internal, from the body to mind and beyond. Remember, yogic practices are an integral part of Tantra. In my next video, I will talk about the sexual practices of Tantra. So thank you for watching, and I hope you get to practice some yoga today. Namaste. Thank you so much for listening. If you like the information, please subscribe, like, and share so that everyone else can also enjoy this.